Are we here? Are we live? One way to find out. Are we live, Clinton? I guess we'll find out soon. I'll pet Mr. Clinton until I can tell. Let's see what Mr. Clinton has to say. Clinton? Good kitty. It was an angry kitty. Alright, so today what I'd like to do is discuss what it is the independent repair industry can do about the fact that Google AdWords for over a year has discriminated against the entire independent electronics repair industry in a manner that it doesn't seem to do for other industries. Google's stated reasons is that it is difficult to tell what is legitimate, but they have non-stop ads from Russian dating sites to penis pills to all sorts of your standard scam, scummy shit. So that's not the reason. So now, in a recent video that I did, I asked that people email me at adwords@rossmangroup.com with a very short little video clip, just something that said, let's say, my name is Taylor, I fix portable devices, the manufacturer said it would be $1,000 to fix this, here's what it actually cost, here's what I did. I'm not allowed to advertise on Google, but check out who is, and show me an ad that you've seen that's BS. I have about 1.2 million subscribers on YouTube. I had about 25,000 views of that video. I'm not shitting you. I got one email with a video clip that I could use, because I wanted to combine all these video clips and make it into a little commercial or an ad that I could promote and try to get to become viral. But yeah, that was a fail. And admittedly, I do suck at organizing when it comes to any sort of activism of any kind. Like, you see what other people are doing out there today with everything that's going on in the world. They're absolutely killing it. They're getting companies to be woke on their behalf. They're getting laws changed and legislation proposed, and I can't get more than 1.2 million subscribers. I got one email. That was a fucking joke. But anyway, so I'm going to take a different approach to this. And I'm going to take a couple of different approaches in the hopes that I'm able to actually get something accomplished. So I've been speaking to a friend of mine, and what we have determined, mostly her, but I'm taking credit for it because that's the kind of asshole that I am, is actually she asked me to delete the stream, so I'm allowed to say that. But essentially, what the question was, what do we need to establish a pattern of anti-competitive behavior on the part of Google? So what Google is doing is, you can advertise if you're, I believe, a first-party repair service, but you can't if you're a third-party repair service. This is the problem, that if I want to advertise that I do data recovery or that I do board repair, this, that, the other on Google AdWords, I can't, and they're the largest advertising platform in the world. So what do we need to show to establish a pattern of anti-competitive behavior? Factor 1, that behavior has caused harm. Factor 2, the rules have been inconsistently applied. Factor 3, there is either negligence or malice in the application of the standard. Factor 4, there are ancillary motivations and partnerships that make it in the business's interest to do so, and the evidence of existence of such partnership exists and can be demonstrated. Factor 5, there is a link between the decision to ban access to the advertising platform and these motivations and these partnerships. So let's go over each factor. Factor 1, the behavior has caused harm. I think this could be demonstrated if any business that used AdWords heavily would be able to email me at adwords@rossmangroup.com, and I'll include this here. If they were able to include gross revenue statements at the same time that Google removed ads for their business from their platform. This way, we would be able to showcase that there is a direct harm to those businesses. What are your thoughts on repair services to fix game controllers? I repaired mine myself. When I was a kid, you could buy a PlayStation controller for $20, so no. I mean, we're at a point in time where people are really hammering in the living wage for every job thing, $20 an hour, $30 an hour, $40 an hour, and I don't see how this fits in any way, shape, or form with fixing things that cost $20. Again, maybe I'm out of touch. I don't play games much. When I was a kid, if you wanted to buy one of those programmable controllers, not even the original piece of shit, the programmable ones where you could like put all your button combos in so that you could kick ass at Street Fighter and cheat, like $20 you could buy that controller. So if it breaks, I don't see how you're creating a business model, paying people a living wage doing that. Now, if you want to do it yourself, by all means, I'd probably open my own controller to fix it. But like offering a service to do that in a modern American city where you're paying $2,000 or $4,000 a month in rent, like no, no. Again, I haven't used like game controllers in like 20 years. So what do I know? So number one, the factor has caused harm. So the way that we would demonstrate that is gaming controls can cost $40 to $60. Buy an aftermarket, you fuck. Why do you have to buy the manufacturer's controller? Aftermarket. Don't buy the original shit, man. Anyway, factor one, the behavior has caused harm. The best way to demonstrate that, I believe, would be if we can show that businesses in our industry lost money right after Google removed them from AdWords or took all their ads away. Factor two, the rules have been inconsistently applied, like Russian girls on YouTube. Now, this is something that I tried to show in an old video here, but it would be helpful if I had more people trying to point these things out. So let's see if I can show that on the screen here. Browser? Son of a bitch. Choose other browser, you piece of... Yeah. So this is a video that I did a long time ago. Google AdWords applies anti-repair policy selectively. Why? And there are businesses like us that where our ads were disapproved, yet companies like OnTrack where... I'll let Jessa share the stories if she wants to share the stories, but let's just say if we're using the word legitimate to define who gets to advertise and who doesn't, no. This rule has been applied very inconsistently because there are businesses that have been allowed to advertise in our industry and there are many others that are not allowed to advertise in our industry. When it comes to what is legitimate, you have lots of advertisements on Google that are not legitimate. Factor three, there is either negligence or malice in the application of standards. Now, I think factor three ties into factor two. There is either negligence or malice is very similar to inconsistently applied because you have to be negligent or have malice in order to inconsistently apply a standard. Factor four, there are ancillary motivations and partnerships that make it in the business's interest to do so, and evidence of the existence of such partnership exists and can be demonstrated. Now, this is where, holy shit, my chat has solely become a discussion about controllers. I don't care about fucking game console controllers right now. I don't give a shit. But like, I don't care. Buy another one. But buy a knockoff. That's what I did. Buy the Mad Catz controller or whatever. Buy the one that lets you cheat in Street Fighter. That's what I did as a kid. Like, seriously, who gives a shit? It's a fucking game controller. Like, sort by lowest price, add to cart, check out. Like, $20, man. $20. You break, I fix. You break, I fix extends Google partnership. So Google is now partnering with certain repair shops, and around the same time that they are making these partnerships, same time that Google is making these partnerships with certain repair shops is the same time that other third-party repair shops are not able to use AdWords on their platform. BlackBerry, away from my mouse. Shoo. So that, to me, is a considerable ancillary motivation or partnership that makes it in Google's best interest to not allow independent repair shops to advertise because there's not going to be as much money in it for Google if they do so. And the existence of such partnership is easily demonstrated by press releases. Factor 5, there is a link between the decision to ban access to the advertising platform and these motivations and partnerships. Now, this would require a leak from inside of Google. And being a moral and upstanding citizen myself, I would never ask that anybody at Google break their non-disclosure agreements and email adwords at rossmangroup.com to let me know if such a link existed. Is there a link between the decision to ban access to the advertising platform and these motivations and partnerships that Google has, as they have a direct financial incentive? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Controllers are more like 60-ish nowadays. You're all getting fucked and ripped off. An Xbox Elite controller is 180. You're getting fucked and ripped off. Controllers are more like 120. You're all getting fucked and ripped off, man. I don't know what to tell you. Buy a PS1 with a Mad Catz controller. Play some Street Fighter Alpha 3. Some Ace Combat. Most third-party controllers are bad. I will kick your ass in Street Fighter Alpha 3 with my Mad Catz controller. Especially if you know how to program Akuma. Oh man, you're going down. Anyway. Google pretend to be an open platform, but are actually agenda-driven and biased towards certain brands and viewpoints. Indeed they are. It's like buying a knockoff keyboard. Would you do that? Yes. Yes, I would. Yes. If I bought a Dell computer and the Dell computer had a $120 keyboard, yes, I would buy a fucking Logitech keyboard for $20 like a normal person. Absolutely. Google has become rich enough to kick back any company supportive of them. The little guy will never matter to them. I agree. I think that the only way to really make progress here is to email someone within the... do something that's going to prompt a response from legal that's then going to prompt people to actually care. You do know Google reads your emails. Great! That's awesome. They could read my emails all they want. Then they know that I'm serious. I don't care. BlackBerry, that's my mouse. Why do you pronounce Logitech with a hard G? Logitech? Fuck that, no. They put the G there for a reason. Not like that L in solder. It sounds weird without the G. Google says don't be evil. What? No, they don't anymore. No, Google used to say don't be evil. Up early. Yes. The only way to teach Google a lesson or make them respond is to take away their monopoly. As it stands, Google are too big for even governments to affect change. I think the pixel you break I fix side of hardware side of Google is such a tiny fraction of their business. I don't think they have a strong motivation to block third-party repair shop ads because of that alone. What would be the actual motivation then? Because the idea that you can't tell what is legitimate or not is clear garbage, because you have so many bullshit ads on AdWords right now. There's so much garbage on AdWords right now that the legitimate thing, I don't buy that. I don't respect that. I don't buy it. It's garbage. And the fact that they are even willing to ban... First, here's the other thing you have to understand about AdWords. It's one of the very few Google services where they actually give you a phone number you can call. Google makes so much money off of AdWords that there's an actual phone number to call real human beings. It's not uncommon to hear of businesses that spend $10,000, $30,000, $80,000 a month on Google AdWords. When a business is open to paying $10,000 to $80,000 a month, it's not difficult to get some college intern making $18 an hour to quickly check over an ad to get an idea as to whether or not it's legitimate in 5 minutes of their time. I don't buy the reasoning that they've given. It makes no sense. It doesn't make sense financially. It doesn't make sense regarding how they've applied it to other industries. So I'm trying to search for what looks like a motivation. Been worried about you, Lewis. Not many videos here lately. I've been making them. It's just nobody watches them. That's the thing. Let's see. What do I got when I click onto my channel? Here, we do this. You can't see all the sick bastards that I'm subscribed to. I don't want people to know that I'm subscribed to Paul Daniels. Just staying on my soul. So this was released a day ago. This is a board repair video, 1.2 million subscribers, 39,000 views. No one watches this shit. This is another board repair 3 days ago, 47k views. No one watches that shit. Google 6 days ago. No one watches. Board repair. No one watches. Okay, this AdWords I got like 10%. Some people watched it. I put videos out. Just people don't watch them. My stuff is probably boring, fairly boring. Did you get a house? No. Google is trying to become the real-life OCP. OCP. A self-supporting, not-for-profit Catholic publishing company. I doubt that's the case. This is their way of nipping right to repair in the butt. Does Google really want right to repair nipped in the butt, though? At what point do you use an ultrasonic cleaner? Usually after a board repair, or when I'm working on a board that I feel is so disgusting that I don't want to start working on it until it goes in the cleaner. OCP is a fictional company from RoboCop. Never watched it. At Google, they say they care for everyone's business. But just see how they behave when big money is on the scene. More money, more visibility. Who is money? Because I agree with the person who said that they doubt that the revenue they get from an authorized repair contract is enough to care about AdWords. But I'm really curious what it is. Jim Hook says Lewis loves Paul Daniels software. Sometimes. Thought on going to the media about Google stuff. Maybe get a bunch of small repair businesses to talk about others stonewalling you guys. Well, I tried to get small businesses to email me. And with 1.2 million subscribers, I succeeded in getting one video clip. One. So I don't think that I am good at organizing. This is what I'm trying to do, get out of this live stream. I want to see if anybody comes up with an idea that I can run with. Something that's good, some way to inspire people in our industry to say something or do something. Or because my first effort was a complete and utter fail. And it's my fault entirely. That video that I did not motivate anybody to do anything. So this is the video that I'm talking about. You look like you reduced weight, or it's your camera. It's probably the camera angle. I'll have people say, oh my God, you haven't slept. Oh my God, I can see you're aging. Your health is awful. And the next day, like when the sun shifts from here to here and the lighting changes in the room, it's, wow, you look so much better. It's just video. It's I don't know. It's the angle of the camera, the zoom of it, or the lighting or whatever. I'm not that different from day to day. It's really just the camera. So yeah, this is the video. We need to do something about Google's anti-repair shop advertiser discrimination. There was an invitation to an email, and that went really, really badly. So that was actually that did not go well at all. Why are you still up? It's 7:20 a.m. I'm awake. The sun is up, so here I am. Chair seems comfortable. Brand. I don't remember. It is comfortable. Rocking chairs in general are incredibly comfortable. Do you think they're unaware of the situation? I think a lot of repair shops are, but I have a channel with supposedly 1.2 million subscribers with a lot of people involved in repair that watch. With each passing day, I think that number is BS more and more. I think it's really closer to like 20 to 40,000 or so. But even then, I'm fairly surprised at the lack of engagement I got there. I mean, I guess you're asking for someone to put an effort. They'd have to put up their camera. They'd have to find something that they fixed. They'd have to find an ad that was legitimate. So what I was asking from that video was, it required a lot of effort to be put in on the part of the viewer. So I understand why I only got one email. Happy Canada Day, my southern neighbor. Thank you, XPYR. I'm going to steal your U because it doesn't belong there. I did get some other emails with random statements, but nothing with the... I really was looking forward to putting together a little video montage and presenting it to a bunch of people. And I actually wanted to pay to have that as an ad on YouTube. I was gonna, because YouTube, I can advertise on YouTube. You can have promoted videos and stuff like that. So I was gonna edit that thing down to like a very short video, and have like 3 or 5 different repair shop owners go over a bullshit Google ad, and the fact that they couldn't advertise after they had fixed something and helped a customer, and have a nice little montage and see where that went. I don't really know exactly what to do, but what I do know is that doing something is typically better than doing nothing. Getting started is typically better than not getting started. And once you get started, you'll kind of see where to go from there. No charger with the next iPhone. No. I don't own an iPhone, so it doesn't really matter. What does YouTube give you for reaching 1 million subscribers? An active comment section and gray hair. What fluid do you use in the Ultrasonic? It's in the link of every single board repair video. I have a link to the fluid. And it's, you don't want to have thermal paste going into the Ultrasonic. You want to clean it off, then Ultrasonic it so you don't get thermal paste under everything. Having the thermal paste on in the Ultrasonic would be counterproductive. Title needs to make it clear that you are calling for participation. It says we need to do something in capital letters. Like, we need to do something in capital letters. We need to do something in capital letters. I don't know. I assume my viewers can read. So you can advertise any video on YouTube to get views, but not your own business to prove it's legitimate on Google search. Sounds very Google. Yes. I had a problem with getting a good e-bike lighting system. Me too. If you buy aftermarket display with Apple logo and we cover the logo with marker, is still illegal. Yes, it's not even that. It's just kind of douchey. Like, if it's not... Why are you putting an Apple logo on it if it's not the original? Like, just tell your vendor to fuck off with that shit. I'm constantly telling my vendors to fuck off with that shit. Like, don't give Apple the win of being able to say that all of what they do is to prevent piracy. Like, don't give them that win. Like, regardless of whether that's legal, like, just fuck doing it. Ignore it. Don't do that. 1 million views pays between $2,000 and $3,000. Spoken like someone who doesn't know what adblock is. So there's this thing called adblock, and people install it, and then they don't see the ads in your video, so you don't get paid for it. Now, what do you think happens if you have a technical channel that has a techie savvy audience? What percentage of them are going to use adblock? Exactly. I mean, that when people try to calculate what you get paid for YouTube views, they have every audience is very, very different. I will take your advice. How is New York City now? Not much change for me. You know, there's a protest every now and then, but, you know, the looting and the rioting and all that shit ended a month ago about. I'm an insider, and I write and I post AdWords advertisements for companies. The big companies like Makeup spend $250,000 to $500,000 a month on AdWords. Yes, they do. Again, a lot of there is more than enough money coming in via AdWords to be able to tell whether or not ads are legitimate. Or you could just do something where you say, listen, we're not going to fuck with this industry unless you commit to $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month. Like, come up with the threshold at which it is worth it to you to bother dealing with customers. I'm 14, and I have an 820-2936 with liquid damage. I cleaned it, but still getting dim MagSafe. Any ideas? Yes, my idea is that watch my stuff. Watch my stuff. Like, what voltage is PP342? Is SMC reset L present? Is sys 1 wire high or low? Is your DC in board shorting DC in voltage to you? Like, I have an entire playlist on this. Fucking watch it. Oh my god, it's free. It's free. No green light. MacBook. Watch it. Don't know which test points to test. Watch my fucking content. Jesus. It's there for free for a reason. It's nice and laid out into playlists and everything. It's all pretty and witty and... How much is 100... What? They were talking about the title of this current stream needing tester participation, not the other video. Yeah, I updated it, but Google doesn't actually... Yeah, so I updated it, but it still hasn't registered. I could... Oh, let's... Seriously, Google? You son of a... It still says... let's try this again. Cool. Let's see if I type it again and hit enter. How to repair the Google AdWords. Alright, let's try that again. See what it does. Try the protesters' way, accuse Google of racism. They will give you ads back. I don't think that works that way for me. The internet without ad block is sewage. Yeah, again, like it's one of the reasons that I don't choose to make a living off of YouTube. I don't blame people for having ad block on. I don't lecture you about it. I don't say, but what about the creators? Because the internet is a cesspool when it comes to... If you wish to choose to have an ad-free experience on the internet, I'm not going to tell you not to. Like, I use it. But the reality is there are a lot of people that don't, that you're missing out on as customers if you're not able to advertise to them. I'm sad. I want to talk about e-bikes. Paul Daniels is complaining that you're streaming at the same time. Paul Daniels can complain to the union boss. We need to do something as vague doesn't mean you're calling for participation. We need to do something in a 3-minute video is not vague. The video literally specifies what the participation is, and it gives an email address, and it gives the instructions inside of less than 3 minutes. I can't do... I have AdBlock and YouTube Premium. So here's donation from Ruslan of 40 rubs. He rubbed me 40 times. Thank you. I've been rubbed. Would a YouTube video that is just a commercial for your company with the right keywords in the title show up in a Google search? Possibly. But it wouldn't fix the underlying issue. And this is not even so much an issue of advertising, so much as it is an issue of legitimacy. The fact that this industry is treated as a stepchild. It's not taken seriously. It's not taken legitimately. It's not even that it's not seen as legitimate. It's not worth the effort or the time to figure out if you are legitimate. And that's really what we're pushing back at here. There's something symbolic in what it is I'm advocating for here. Do content creators get anything from YouTube Premium? Yeah, it shows up as like YouTube Red or YouTube Premium revenue in the back end or something. And thank you, Artie. Nick, that is not a bad idea, and I actually put it together here. So yeah, I will at you. I atted you. Yeah, I posted this on Reddit earlier. We have got 20 upvotes! We're only like 10,000 away from being at the front page. But we're going in the right direction. Let's see. Where do you get donor boards? Same place I get all my chips from. I used to be able to buy them for $12. Now they're going up to like 18 or 20 bucks a donor, which is disgusting, but it is what it is. You can also find them on AliExpress. Would you like me to disable ad blocker while I watch your content? I mean, I wouldn't ask an individual to do it because the quality of life that you're going to have if you disable it is not worth it to me. Like, how do I put this? If everybody disabled it, I would get a lot more money. However, the misery that it's going to cause you to have to sit through and watch ads on a regular basis is not worth the 5 or 3 cents a year that I'm going to get from you sitting through all those ads. So you're going to listen to a lot of garbage that's going to fuck with your head and just add all this clutter and crap to your head. And in exchange, I get 3 to 5 cents. Like, that just doesn't seem like a good exchange. Adblock reparations. Also check out NYC Mesh. I have no idea what NYC Mesh is. Does this have to do with what we're discussing? Let's see. NYC Mesh is... It's an internet network. Okay, it's got nothing to do with this. I appreciate it, but we move on. Now every time you open up a YouTube video, you have to keep closing, skip ads. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's the 3 cents a year that I'm going to get from you viewing them is not worth the aggravation to you. Okay. Title works, judging by the list of responses. Oh, now you've become salty. Bye-bye. Let's see. In the security industry, rerun ad block because ads can be injected with malware. I don't blame you. The stream is choppy to the point of unwatchable. I would highly suggest that you contact Susan Wojcicki. She will fix it for you. Can you get sued by Apple for reverse engineering their motherboards and putting your findings online for free? I think you mean sued, and it's possible. I think that possibly happens. But it hasn't yet. I don't really think I'm reverse engineering their boards. I'm not reverse engineering it. I'm really just, like, clean up in aisle 5. Like, pouring flux on it after looking at a drawing is not really reverse engineering. There are elements that are reverse engineering, but that's not it. Most of it is not it. This is the problem with the advertising industry more generally. You have to cause a large amount of annoyance, usually to many different people, to make only a small amount of money. I agree. And I'm really curious how that's going to evolve over the next 10, 20, 30 years. Because you really do cause a lot of annoyance to a lot of people to get a minimal result. Like, I think the effort, the strategy that I think that YouTube and what I was doing takes seems to be a lot better. I'm not actually advertising to the person who wants their MacBook fixed. None of this is advertising to the person who wants their MacBook fixed. I'm not advertising to the customer. I've created a little bit of niche content that people who are big-time nerds are going to watch. And these big-time nerds that are watching, that like 0.1% of my subscribers, that 20,000 that actually watch the boring-ass board repair videos like VCCIO versus VCore, they are very authoritative within their circle of friends or their circle of coworkers or acquaintances. So when the actual person that is my target customer has a problem, they're not going to see my YouTube video, but they're going to ask their friend, what do I do? And their friend who does watch my stuff, even if he's never going to own a MacBook, is going to say, you got to go to this place, only this place. So I think that indirect advertising is actually a lot better than direct advertising. Advertising to the person that is authoritative in that subject field, that is then going to be the person that your actual customer asks for assistance in when it's time for them to purchase, is far better, because it's not annoying. It's not like something that's going to be skipped. It's something that someone actually wants. So the person who watches my video actually wanted to watch an investigative detective work, open-ended board repair. And the person who wants the service wanted to ask their friend who is tech savvy or electronic savvy, what do? I spilled liquid on this. However, that only gets you to a certain extent. Even though that can build you to a certain point, you then will reach a cap. And then if you want to get to the point of the much larger companies that have 500 employees or 5,000 employees, then you really do have to go for that annoy everyone kind of AdWords thing. You know, and it sucks, but it's part of the reality of life at the moment, that you're missing out on a large portion of potential customers by not advertising in that way. uBlock plus AdBlock, especially if you use Twitch. My solution is to only watch channels that have been demonetized. But you're here. So clearly you're not doing that. If you're receiving so much install AdBlock messages, you are dumb. What? You're going to anger Paul Daniels for stealing his live stream slot. Paul Daniels can complain to the union. You are still doing the ad videos. Haven't had time yet. Yes, this is what I'm focused on at the moment. Ads will get more and more targeted. That's the end goal and why user data is so valuable. Who are you calling a big-time nerd? All of you. Every last one of you that refuses to, too much of a snob to use my Mad Catz controller. If it was up to me, I would ban all types of advertising. If you're good, you don't need paid advertising. See, that's why you're not in a position of power in the world, because people don't want to deal with dictators. You want to use AdBlock? Great. You want to completely ban volunteer? No. We don't need another dictator. You probably work for someone that pays for ads. That's a sad thing. A lot of the people that say advertising should be banned probably get their paychecks from companies that pay for advertising, so they get customers that can then pay their employees. You still see a good future in high street entrepreneurship. Government and public behavior during this pandemic is quite disconcerting for future. I don't know what high street entrepreneur is. I'm sorry. Not only are we authoritative and friends, we also decide for our companies, laptops, servers, cloud offerings. Many of us work for large companies and have jobs that include deciding on these issues. Exactly. Like, advertising is something that's going to help you get business. You know, the traditional way, the AdWords way and all that other shit. But the way to build a sustainable business that's going to grow and keep its reputation over time, the type of business that's going to weather the storm, is I want to have the type of business where people in Slashdot comment sections are saying, send it to Lewis. Excuse me. Like, once people in Slashdot comment sections are saying, you need to go to this place, that's the type of advertising that you want to do before you do all the other crap. You need to have that solid base that shows that you're actually good at what you do, and that's who you want to cater to. Even if that person is not your customer. It's really hard to get other businesses to recognize or realize that fact. When I speak to other people about advertising their businesses, and when they ask me for advice and I give them this, they really are like, no, seriously, what's the actual answer? Thank you for the £1, Alex. But that is the actual answer that I usually give. And people don't get it. But again, even once you have that base, you still need to grow the rest of it. You need the base in order to be healthy, but you do want to be able to, let's say, use platforms like Google AdWords without being banned from them. Can you advertise with other YouTube creators? Possibly. But like, I think in general on YouTube, I think that I've got that down pat. Now I would like to be able to advertise in other areas. And there are other people that would also like to advertise in those other areas. Is your store still boarded up? Absolutely. I'm keeping that thing boarded up for a long time. Like, this stuff isn't even close to over. People who took their boards down a few days after the rioting and looting stopped, like, no. There's a lot more left. You'll see. There's so many more things that can happen. What if Derek Chauvin gets off? What if Trump gets reelected? What if the cops in Georgia get off? What if the economy doesn't recover? There are so many things that could potentially happen. I'm going to keep those boards up for the next, 9 years of my lease. Mad Cats. Yo, stop making fun of my controller. I don't like Mad Catz, too much plastic. What are your controllers made of? Gold, man? Aluminium? Just wanted to show my appreciation. Thank you, Elusive, for the £5. What is your solution for Google so far? I don't have anything new here. This is really for brainstorming, but I've changed the title. You have a gun? No, I'm pretty sure that's illegal in New York City. Don't you risk getting fined by the city if you keep the boards? You risk getting fined by the city by just doing business here. I don't know. Who cares? I think the advertising on YouTube will get worse over time. More and more unskippable ads, pop-ups, etc. will look like an adult site in 5 years with the amount of them. Yeah, I think what they should do is not raise the quantity of ads, raise the price. Why is it that your eyeballs on YouTube are worth less than 1% of what they're worth on Fox, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, a billboard? Are eyes on a billboard worth 100 times more than those eyes on a Google ad? I don't think so. I think that YouTube is lowballing like crazy, and I don't get it. They lose something like $2 billion a year. It's not like they need, what if we're afraid we'll lose business. It's like you're already losing money. But again, I don't have all the inside numbers there and the reasoning to understand why they do what they do. But I'm curious. Greetings from Philly. Hello, LL. Have you considered contacting Instagram creators for a sponsored spot or Twitch streamers? I'm really looking for the search ad thing, because again, when it comes to YouTube and Twitch and that as a platform, like I think that I've permeated that space. Like having the 1 million subscribers on YouTube, being the first search result on YouTube for anything related to MacBook board repair, I think I've permeated that space. Now I'm looking to get into the other spaces. Do you think a middleman between you and Google could take care of the ad problem? If Google has some partner agency for advertising who would put up approved ads on your behalf. I don't know. I'm open to it. But still, the main issue is the policy. They have a policy that blacklists my entire industry. And it's not even so much the inability to get an ad posted, so much as it is that policy's existence is a black eye in the repair industry. It means that there is, we're not even worth figuring out if an ad is legitimate, which says that Google thinks that we're not kind of worthless. And that's really what I'm looking to push back against, more so than the inability for me personally to post ads. Like solving me not being able to post an ad, great, fine, whatever. I can post ads now, but the industry as a whole still has that black eye of the largest advertising platform thinks that we're a joke. And that's something that I think needs to be resolved. I'm brainstorming not to find a solution to Google Ads. I'm brainstorming to find a way to get them to change their policy. Why did you choose New York as the location for your business? I chose New York as the location for my business because I was born here. And since I had no money, I didn't have the ability to leave. So I just put up Craigslist and Backpage and Kijiji and OLX ads saying, I will do this for money. And then people showed up and I had a client base. And then I just went from there. The reason I stay here is because my staff is here now. You realize you're not going to change anything when it comes to Google policies. That is the mindset of a failure. That's the mindset of someone who doesn't accomplish anything. That's the mindset of someone that grows old and looks back in their life with no accomplishments. And I don't have that mindset. If advertising on YouTube is this undervalued, why doesn't every company ever just swoop in and take advantage of the cheap ad space? I think every company has swooped in and took advantage of the cheap ad space, which is precisely why you're flooded with ads on YouTube. But back to this, you're not going to change anything. I mean, when I started in this business, people said, do you really think that that normal people that don't have electronics degrees are going to be able to figure out how to do this? Really? No. Do you really think you could teach idiots in the repair industry that do nothing but replace iPhone screens, just swapping screws and whatever, how to do this? Of course you can't. Do you really think you're going to get consumers to believe that independent repair is better than the Apple Store? Really? You think they're going to trust you over the Apple Store? I mean, that entire idea, that's a defeatist mindset of failures and losers. And I don't have that defeatist mindset. I'm not a failure. I'm not a loser. And I refuse to associate or accept that. And the amount of change that we've been able to accomplish over the past 8 years, when people have looked at me and laughed at me and said my business model was a joke, the way I do business was a joke, the way that I advertise is a joke, has all been disproven multiple times. So there are people that try and be the change they want to see in the world, that try to shape the world the way that they think it would be, that it should be. And there are people that just accept things as they are and accomplish nothing, grow old, miserable, look back on their life and go, I didn't accomplish anything. And it sounds like you're in the latter. And, you do you. You be in that latter category, but fuck off with that idea that I should be in it as well. That is defeatist garbage. And I hope people see it for what it is. Absolute defeatist trash. It's kind of like when the MGTOW people, like, it's one thing to say, you know, you should think twice about getting married in modern times because you have a lot to lose financially but not a lot to gain. But then it's another thing when they kind of say, you know, any attempt to have a relationship with a woman is feeble because I have failed at my relationship, because I made a terrible choice, because I chose hotness over someone that actually has some virtue or is kind or a good human being. You should avoid dating altogether. Like, fuck off with that defeatist shit. Like, you failed. I get it. You failed. I'm not going to not try because you failed. Burn down Google's headquarters. See, I'm looking for less extreme solutions to that. We're trying to go for less extreme solutions. I'm not for the whole burning down the headquarters, burning down the Target, burning down the Wendy's, burning down the Apple Store. That's not something that, we're trying to avoid that. I don't think that's necessary. That's not really. Perhaps getting satisfied customers to mention you on Facebook or Twitter. I think we're beyond that. As I've said, I believe I have more 5-star positive reviews than just about any third-party repair shop on Google Maps right now. I got to be up there in like the top 1%, and it's made no difference. American that knows it's aluminium, not aluminum. I know, aluminium is weird though. What impact do you think the ARM switch in Apple will have in terms of the future? It's going to put a lot of people to sleep when they get that question. That's what I think it's going to do. Rockford Media says, hi, Louise. Louise. Greetings from Philly. Hello. I can help you with Google Ads for free if you want. I won't optimize it, but I can help you deal with some stuff there just for creating awesome content. Okay. Change Google's policy. Go, bro, go. What's the name of the cute kitty next to you? This is Mr. Clinton, and he's an asshole. Hi, Clinton. See, hear him roar. He's such a prick. So Joe Rogan is moving to Spotify come September. When this happens, word is many others will move to Spotify to get away from censorship and certain ad behavior. We'll see. The fact that Google let Joe Rogan go shows how out of touch YouTube is. Like the fact that they never bothered to even pick up the phone and call him. Because Joe Rogan does bring YouTube real money. Thanks for your videos. I decided to fix my electric fence after the technician said the board was fried beyond repair. It cost me $143 instead of $150. Not bad, but $150 isn't really that bad. Like if something costs $150 to replace, I don't even know if I would be trying to fix it. But it is rewarding when you fix something yourself now, isn't it? So basically some vetting agency who would pre-approve advertisers, but that would likely lead to creating some worthless money grab like those anti-repair lobbyists. Yeah, adding another middleman here is not the best. What camera is filming? Is Sony A5100. You can find these on eBay every now and then for $240 with a broken flash. Sue Google. That's an idea. I like the way you show the realty bubble in New York City. Everything is overpriced anywhere, even here in Brazil. By showing that, you make us think and search for better prices. Yeah, I hope that one thing people get out of this is just because a market is out of their mind doesn't mean you need to be out of your mind as well and go along with it. I love your content. Some of your videos helped me through rough times in high school. My question is, how are you awake and actually productive at this time? I'm not really productive right now. I actually have no idea on what I'm supposed to do. So I thought, since I have no idea what I should do next, let me please bro my audience and ask them while I sit in a chair with my cat. I'm surprised you call this being productive. How about doing disassembling videos showing repair-friendly best practices? I think I do. I point out repair best practices. Pointing out good players. iFixit does that. That has got, like, iFixit's been doing that for what, like 10 years now? The repairability scores with their devices. Nobody cares. That's the sad thing. I'm not trying to snark on iFixit there. They have a lot of teardowns, and their repairability scores are good. They really do judge based on... Yeah, I'm being an idiot here and losing my words. iFixit is judging the repairability of the devices based on the practical reality of what it is like to open them and work on them. And it doesn't seem like manufacturers really care. And they've been doing a good job with it. They've been doing an advertiser-friendly good job with it. You know, like no cursing, attractive hosts, professional website, all that stuff. Can you prove that they took business away from you? Well, you'd have to show that your business went down when you stopped using AdWords. I stopped using AdWords in 2015, and I sought to use it again in 2019. So I can't show that because I don't have that causal link. But businesses who have been using AdWords the entire time would have that causal link if they were willing to send over their ad spend on AdWords and overlay that with their revenue. So I would need to see that from a business in the industry. Any opinions on the Shure VP83 or something similar? Let's take a look. The Shure VP83 is some microphone. Never heard it. I use a Sennheiser MKE600 for that. YouTube is such a failure, it's betting the house on a constant influx of creators when it should give contracts to a core group. iFixit repairability scores are flawed. Yeah, like I get it. Yeah, they're not perfect. I'm not saying that they're perfect. iFixit is not perfect. But in terms of repairability scores for a large number of consumer electronic devices, I don't see a lot of other companies doing that. My point I'm making there is that someone is already doing that to a professional standard, and it hasn't actually changed the way people manufacture products or gotten them to care. Maybe someone needs to vouch for you at Google. Well, that's a good one. Does anybody watch that actually works there? Hi. You could try a chi-squared test and the differential variance to cross-check your performance. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. YouTube is the furthest thing from a failure, one of Google's best businesses. Depends on what metric you run it on. My metric is net profit, because that's what pays rent, that's what pays mortgage, that's what pays Kitty food bill. Kitty cannot be paid out of a negative net profit. That's my kitty. My kitty loves me. Problem is, if Google lets you get your ads, then others will scream it's unfair that only you get ads. Therefore, Google needs some kind of objective filter to mark false ads. Exactly. That's what I'm saying is I don't really care about there being some method. I don't care about there being an exception made for me. That doesn't help anybody. I want this entire policy that says the independent repair industry cannot advertise on Google to be changed. If I alone am allowed to advertise on AdWords, that does nothing. That just creates more aggravation. What are you doing, Clinton? Clinton? That was a silent meow. Did you forget how to meow, Clinton? Oh, jeez. Clinton. He forgot how to meow. Holy shit. Clinton. Clinton is not about to puke. That's not correct, Han Solo. Not even close to correct. If you try to advertise, they will say that your ads were rejected because of policy. That's not even close to correct. What verification program? All right. I think it's about time for me to pet Mr. Clinton. Yeah, he's clawing me. He's gone from headbutts to taking his claws out and just scratching my arm with it. You have some balls, kitty. You're really scratching me while I'm doing a live stream. Look at him. He's taking his claws out. Do you see this? He's doing this. I don't know if the camera is good enough to pick that up. I can't zoom. I need to get a remote for the camera so I can zoom from my chair, because if I get up, he'll move away. He's taking out his claws and doing this and just scratching the side of my arm. Clinton. Wow. Wow. What a prick. You are such a fucking prick. Stop trying to be cute after you just slashed my arm. Little bastard. Who's my kitty? Who's my good little kitty? This is my adorable cat. Creating such a filter will invite the same problem that reCAPTCHA has. Companies just focus on breaking your filter. Listen, if they're able to tell what is legitimate and illegitimate for every other industry, there's no reason to not do it for this one. I don't want to hear well, you can't do it because of this, you can't do it because of that. You're able to do it for everything else. You're able to do it for dick pills. You're able to do it for Russian dating sites. You're able to do it for every other industry that wants to advertise. You can do it for plumbers. You can do it for electricians. If you can do it for plumbers, electricians, dick pills, and Russian dating sites, you can do it for the repair industry. That's it for today. I'm going to get on with my day. By get on with my day, I mean spend the next probably 14 hours petting my kitten here, Mr. Clinton, and I'll see you all later. That's it for today, and as always, maybe I learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.